Welcome to Your Visionary Podcast. This podcast is specifically for you and your vision. Get ready to grow. Let's go.
Life is in the detour, So every detour we experience, that's an opportunity to learn something.
You sell yourself. Doesn't matter if you're selling ice in Alaska or if you're selling sugarcane in Haiti. They're gonna buy from you.
And all of this knowledge is in captivity when it should be out in the world. He couldn't believe that I had 25 years, but the way I carried myself, you'd have thought I had 25 days left.
We try to be something so great, and we forget that we're just being humans. We're human beings, And it's like we're enough right here.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm your host, Visionary CJ, entrepreneurship major at Kennesaw State and serial entrepreneur. And today I have a really amazing episode for you guys with Kayla Price. But before we get into that, I just want to tell y'all that my new book, The Positive Affirmation Guide, is now available for pre-order on Amazon. And so if you go on Amazon, you type in The Positive Affirmation Guide, or you type in Visionary CJ, the book will come up and you can pre-order it there. And if you do pre-order the ebook, you'll get a discount on the hard copy that comes out January 31st. And so I'm super excited about this launch. I've been planning this for a couple months now, and so it's amazing just to see everything coming to fruition. And so make sure y'all check that out. And here goes the episode number 6 with Kayla Price. Hope y'all enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Your Visionary Podcast. Today we have Kayla, better known as Kaypable, a social media influencer, YouTube blogger. How you doing, Kayla?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for sharing your time with me and with my listeners. And how we start this off, we always ask, what's your purpose statement?
My purpose statement, definitely I would say for Kaypable is that I am, but we are capable. So it's basically just saying, like, not only am I, but we all are capable, and we all can do anything we put our mind to, and let's just continue to motivate each other together and win together.
Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. So Kaypable is your brand. And talk about that, and how'd you create that?
Okay. Kaypable started in 2017, and I really created it as a safe space for me to be able to cope and vent with the things that I was going through. I was going through a really rough time, and I was just really feeling low, and it wasn't until I created Kaypable that I was able to just regain that sense of hope again and just that sense of self-assurance. And it was just my outlet to kind of give people a view of what I'm going through, but also encourage them that I go through stuff too. So It's like, you're not alone.
Right. And that's dope because it seems like your brand was just built off authenticity. You've been transparent with what you're going through. And I feel like that's rare, with social media. Now everybody wants to just be a superstar and show the highlights, but you really, you're really transparent and show that you go through everything that everybody else goes through. And that's dope. And so take me back. Before you created Kaypable, what were you like in high school? Like, who was Kayla then?
Oh, high school. In high school, I would say that I was pretty cool in high school, I guess. I had a lot of friends. Yeah. I was cool with a lot of the teachers. I mean, high school, I loved my high school. Shout out to my alma mater, Richmond. I went to Richmond Academy in Augusta. So I loved it there. I think that was really when I started to gain my sense of self because in middle school, I went to a magnet school, and it was really a school of the arts. And I was talented, but it was like, I wasn't an artist, and I could dance, but I wasn't a ballet dancer. And I played tennis anyway. So it was like, I'm good in the arts area, but I wanted to go to a traditional high school where it was just like public school and I could play tennis and everything.
Nice.
So I feel like that's where I gained my sense of self. I had a lot of accomplishments in high school. Really? So, yeah, I think that's really when I began to know who Kayla was.
Really? Okay, so in high school, what do you think you would be doing, at this point in your life? You're 21 now, right?
22.
22. Oh, wow. 22.
Yes.
Okay, 22. So where do you think you would be at 22 when
Honestly,
you were in high school? Or did you
let me think. When I was in high school, I guess at 22, I honestly didn't know where I would be. I knew I would be in college somewhere. I didn't necessarily know what I would be doing because I was still playing tennis. I probably thought that I was going to be a tennis player for college because I was looking at schools. I had scholarships to go to school for college. I just didn't find that my passion anymore. So it was like, I didn't know where I was going to be. I didn't know if I was going to be a tennis player or if I was just going to accept college and embrace that life of freedom, I guess.
All right, but that's normal. I feel like a lot of people don't know what they want to do, and then even what they do is not what they plan to be. Like for me, in high school, I played basketball, and so I thought, I'd be in college hooping somewhere, but it's like, no, not at all. You know, life just directed me a different way. You know, which is usually how it goes. And so I want you to talk about how Kaypable started to rise, because now you have a lot of followers on Instagram and on YouTube. With your blog and everything. When did that come about?
So I would say, honestly, Kaypable, I think it was just kind of like a breath of fresh air for everybody. And it was just like something to see somebody be so transparent who many people had kind of sought inspiration from. So it was like, I had already kind of had a following, but then once I started Kaypable and just started letting people see, like, this is just me being my genuine self. Like, this is just me being me. I did an interview on campus, and it was called Shoot Your Shot. And I really just went around asking questions about, like, what do you feel about relationships? It was cuffing season, so I was like, listen, we're gonna do an interview on campus because I just need to get some answers from females and males to just see how everybody thinks and everything. So the interview on campus really kind of like got Kaypable out there, and everybody was like, what's this that she's doing? And I made it a video on Twitter, and it got a lot of retweets on Twitter, and the video on YouTube did pretty well. And I had also done like a pretty much just a video of myself giving guys tips on how to shoot your shot and things that females don't like and what we don't like you to say and don't like you to do. And that one did pretty well. So I think it was just kind of like those two videos that started everything, and then everything else afterwards.
Moving, So you were intentional about what you were doing. You always had Kaypable in mind when you were creating your content.
Definitely.
That's dope. And then talk to me about your video that went viral. Because I think how I first saw you was that, that video. It got like over 1 million views now. Yes. But that's not really discover who you are. So talk about that experience.
Oh my gosh, that had to be probably one of the best days of my life. I crossed. I'm a AKA now at Kennesaw State, so I'm in the Pi Phi chapter. And really, that moment was just huge for me because it was just the amount of energy in that room was just unmatched. It was just like everybody could feel me, and it was like a moment where I didn't know what I was about to go out there and do, because honestly, right before I came out, my hair got stuck in my mask. They played my music for the girl before me, from my line sister before me. Like, literally, it was just a mess, but I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go out here. This is my moment. I'm not finna let nothing take it away from me, so let's get it. I ran out there, everybody get on your feet, and it was just like history for real. For me.
Yeah, and that's crazy, like the series of events that happened right before, because I feel like that kind of is what happens in life. Right before you have a breakthrough, you go through an experience that's like a series of failures, right? And how you just deal with those failures is how you come out on the other end.
Yeah, definitely.
And so in that short amount of time, you like experience that
for sure.
Thing, right?
It was a life lesson in a short experience, for real.
Yeah, for sure. And how's that helped your brand?
I feel like that's definitely helped my brand, because with the video going viral, I gained a lot of followers on Instagram and I gained a lot of followers on YouTube, and it really just allowed me to kind of continue to push my message. Life gets busy, so I honestly wasn't as soon as I came out, I wasn't able to put as much energy into Kaypable, but it was great that video went viral, because I was able to kind of allow that to kind of like keep me going and give me more motivation to really give the people what they want. And that's just more of me being myself, because that was what I was doing in that moment anyway.
That transparency.
Yeah,
that's real. And so I have like my followers ask me, how do I meet my guests? And so I just want to share how I met you.
Okay.
And so if y'all who don't know, I invest in a company called Your Vanity. So makeup vanities for college girls, loveyourvanity.com. And so we were thinking about how we can really just expand the brand. And I was thinking, well, we're at KSU, we need to find an influencer on campus. And so, of course, I knew of you, but I never met you. And I was like, okay, I need to talk to this girl, Kayla. I need to meet her somehow, right? And so I have a friend that knows you, and I reached out to him. I was like, hey, can you tell Kayla about me? Tell her I want to meet her. And so I didn't know what to expect, going into meeting you, just because, you never know, right? And so we met on campus, had a good conversation. I love your vibes, and we just clicked. And, ever since then,
great vibes.
Yeah, ever since then we just been like partnering up and just trying to help each other grow. And I think that's just a critical part of college. If you see people that go to your campus, you want to reach out, you want to talk to them. Find a way to reach out to them.
Definitely.
I know I didn't want to DM you because you probably get tons of DMs. So I was like, I gotta talk to you in person. And I want you to talk about how important just relationships are in college.
I think relationships are so important in college because this is that space where you're getting a chance to really know yourself and to really understand relationships. Like my sense of relationship now versus my sense of relationship in high school, it's like two different things. It's like my level of understanding is so much more broad now because a lot of times in high school you expect so many small things, and if like your friend don't call you or this and that and third, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just a different type of entitlement in high school versus when you get to college. I just felt like my relationships have grown because I've grown as a person. I've allowed myself to really be in tune with Kayla, gain that sense of freedom, and just allow that to develop in my relationships as well, and not have too many expectations, but still have that wiggle room to kind of like know that I'm here for you whenever you need me. And that's not even just in friendships, but in relationships as well. Like I've experienced relationships in college, and I can just see like my mindset is completely different than what it was in high school, because some things you just learn it's not as serious as you think it is. And it's just more so about appreciating the person for who they are, and just not only noticing their faults but appreciating them, you know. So I feel like relationships, I've gained a great sense of knowledge on relationships since I've come to college.
Yeah, that's awesome. And relationships are key in life, you know. Like the quote that says it's not what you know, it's who you know.
That part.
Right,
that part for sure.
So yeah, that's facts in every situation. So what advice would you give to a young girl or a guy who is looking to just gain friendships, gain relationships, just get themselves out there? You know, what advice would you give to
I
them?
would just say definitely network, but not from the business aspect. But give yourself time to get out and network, or get out and experience college. You know, like I had to join different organizations because when I first got to college, I was booed up and I didn't want to really do anything. I just went to class and came home. But it's like when I actually started joining things and experiencing campus and experiencing the college life, allowing myself to meet new people, it's like those relationships developed easily. And it was just something that it wasn't necessarily forced. It just came about. So I would just tell somebody, if you're looking to gain friends, just allow yourself to experience, and don't really have expectations set, but look at it more as I want to experience life, and if the people who need to come to my life, they'll come.
Right. Yeah, that's real.
It'll fall into place.
Right. And then with the because a lot of people make expectations for, you know, their friendships, relationships. And I think with expectations comes fear. Yes. Because then it's like you're scared, oh, what if they don't meet my expectations? Or, you know, what if they're too good? Right. It's just a lot of what ifs. And then my definition of fear is false evidence appearing real.
Ooh, wait a minute. Say that one more time.
Yeah, that's a gem. Fear, false evidence appearing real.
Okay.
And so it's just like stuff in your mind that you think might happen, you know, and it causes you to be fearful, but it's not even real at the end of the day.
Yes, that's all the expectations create. And I don't like being placed in a box. And sometimes I'm so hard on myself with the expectations that I set for myself. And I'm actually going to make a video talking about unrealistic expectations, because a lot of times we set these expectations that are impossible or extremely hard to meet for ourselves. And we set them in relationships, we set them in anything, pretty much grades. It's just unrealistic. So I just definitely want to talk about being sure, like just being realistic with yourself, you know?
Yeah, that's real. And so with your YouTube following, how can you relate your your social media following to your actual real relationships? Like, do you see your following as your actual friends, or how do you really see that?
That's a good question. Because it's like, I don't look at it as these are my fans. I look at it as these are my supporters, and I look at us as one. You know, I respond to as many DMs as I can. I just believe in just kind of putting that positive energy out there because it's contagious. And when I see girls on my feed and I'm like, oh my gosh, she got a bomb feed, I make sure I DM her like, your feed is amazing, you're beautiful, because it's like, that's what Kaypable is. I don't think that we as women uplift each other enough in society, and I feel like sometimes we're the division that we create. And I just want to do my part in making sure every other female out here feels capable and feels like, you know, has that power to do whatever they put their mind to. So that's why I feel. And just like in terms of my relationship with my supporters, like I said, I just try to be as transparent as possible. Like, I don't look at it as I got all these followers and y'all are just my followers. I look at it as, look, y'all support me, so let me help y'all. Let me help you help me, you know?
And that's so real. That's one of the reasons why I respect you so much, is because you know, you are the same person you are on your social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't live two different lives.
Right.
Like, some people live, one life on social media and then one life in real life. But, like you said, you're transparent, which is what I really respect.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And so what are your goals with Kaypable in the next couple of, 2019, let's just say with 2019.
2019. So I have big goals with Kaypable. I just started my girl group this past summer, and it's pretty much just a group of girls where everything you see on YouTube, everything you see on Instagram is at a more personal level. Like, you have a chance to talk with me directly. We have pretty much a safe space for women to feel empowered, vent, talk about everything. We send pictures, updates. Like, it's a few moms in there, so it's like they'll send pictures of their babies and everything. So it's just a space where, if you don't have that source or that outlet where somebody is giving you that positive reinforcement, you can come to this group message and have all of that. So I think one of my goals is to definitely expand my girl group. And I don't know, I got big. I'll be saying, like, one of my biggest goals is to definitely make it to Black Girls Rock. Okay. And I just really want to be able to kind of like express my platform and everything through that show. It's like an award show, and hopefully just be recognized for what I'm trying to do. That's one of my biggest goals. That's
real. One of the reasons I had you say that is because I'm a strong believer in positive affirmations. As you can see, the book I have coming out this month is called The Positive Affirmation Guide, and I believe that life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Yes.
So it's like it's like the more that you say it, the more that you put that in the world, and the more it'll just come to you. The law of attraction.
That's true.
So that's great. I believe that everything you just said will happen.
Okay, thank you. I'm hoping so. I'm really hoping so. I believe in that too, and that's why I said, like, what you put out is what you get. You reap what you sow, and that's what I truly, truly, truly believe in. So I'm all about putting. Yeah, and
then you putting in the work too. You put in the work behind what you do. Are you still doing a video every week, or how's it coming?
Not every week. I actually took a break from YouTube because the end of 2018 was a little bit rough for me, and the start of 2019 is a little bit rough too. But it's just like, I'm trying to make sure that I'm good before I give people content on how they can be good. It's like I still got to take care of myself too. So.
Yeah, that's wow. I'm glad you said that. I was listening to a podcast today, and he was just saying how when it comes to just growing in life, you have to grow from the inside out. You can't really
that's so true.
It's real. So you can't really post like stuff on the outside and expect for it to heal you. You got to heal first, and then let your healing be what you put out.
And I don't want to look the part. I want to be the part. I want to actually be about what I talk about. So I'm trying to walk it like I talk about it.
I was thinking that too. That's crazy. You don't want to just act the part. You want to be the part. I like that. And so let's talk about leadership. What is your definition of leadership?
I think a leader is somebody who works actively to positively move whatever they're involved in the greater direction. So it's like whether you're the captain of the softball team, whether I was the vice president of my chapter, it's like you are effectively trying to work to get whatever you're involved in where it needs to be for the greater good. I feel like that's my definition of a leader, because it's not about status, it's not necessarily about position, it's not about what you're doing, but it's from the inside. And if you have those qualities, you can be a leader from within. It doesn't have to show, or you don't have to have X amount of followers. It's all about you trying to get whatever it is you're involved in to the next level. And then
that's dope. And so for me, I'm reading John Maxwell's book. He has a book called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And so one of his laws is the law of influence. And so kind of the law of influence is just, can you take some people and you lead them to where they need to go, which is kind of what you just said.
Right.
And so for me, leadership is just influence, and positive influence. Like, can you lead someone into where they want to get to, or where you feel like they should go, where you want to go?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's real. And I just see you as a great leader.
Thank you.
Are you intentional about being a good leader, or are you just doing you?
I feel like not necessarily intentional. I feel like it comes because I'm like, now when I do make decisions, I'm like, okay, well, Kelly, you got to understand, you got other girls looking up to you. You have your little sister that looks up to you. So I guess being intentional in that terms, I'm intentional in that way. But like to be like, oh, I'm going to do this because I'm trying to be a leader, not necessarily.
All right, that's all good.
Yeah.
No worries. And so, speaking of books, I just said a book I read. Do you read any books?
I have started reading. I'm excited to talk about it because I don't read like I need to per se, but I am reading a book right now. It's called Silent Seasons, and it is a great book. It's a great read, and really it just talks about you being in a space in your life where you and I can relate to it so much because it's like you have so much ideas, you have so many things that you want to put out there, but it's like sometimes God is telling you this is your season where you need to plant your seeds before you reap your harvest. And it's like you can't eat a fruit without planting the seed first. And it's like I feel like this is definitely one of my silent seasons, so I'm enjoying that book.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think about what else I'm reading. Becoming Beyonce, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, you already know. I'm getting to Beyonce at one point because I know how much you love Beyonce. And so, just talk about your influences in life. Talk about who you're influenced by.
Well, definitely one of my main influences. I'm influenced by Beyonce. I just love the way Beyonce carries herself. I just love how she's so devoted and dedicated to Black culture, and just really not even only Black culture, but just the positive and the greater of people. I feel like Beyonce has inspired so many people. I've been listening to Beyonce since I was 6 years old, and it's just like, even though I didn't understand necessarily what every word she was saying meant, I knew the feeling that it gave me. And I think that that's what an influencer is. It's not necessarily about having everybody believing or per se agreeing with what you're saying, but it's the effect that you can have on people per se. And I think Beyonce is just a great influence for sure. Another one I would say, my mom. My mom has always been a great influence to me because her willingness to care for others and just to be so selfless for other people. Like, I've seen her since I was little, literally mentor girls, and girls cling to her. And I think that's kind of where I get it from, because she just has a way with words, and it's just the comfortability that people feel with her. And it's it's comfort. Comfort is important, and people are transparent and genuine with you when they can be comfortable with you. Yeah, so
for sure,
those are two of my biggest influences for sure.
Nice. And it's crazy because I have a girl that I'm interviewing. Her name is Tasir, and she was a dancer for Beyonce with her last tour. Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yeah, and I was gonna have her come today,
OMG.
But she's sick. But I want to connect y'all just because of course I had to ask her, like, what was that experience like?
Yeah.
And she was like, it was just amazing being that close to Beyonce and Jay-Z and just seeing them behind the scenes. She's like, their behind the scenes is so dope. They don't even rehearse. They have somebody who looks exactly like Beyonce rehearsing for her. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce just comes, she does what she has to do, performs, and then hops on a private jet, goes home, see her kids, comes back the next day for tour.
Busy.
And I was just like, wow, just that whole lifestyle is so crazy. But it's just like, when you at that level, you gotta move.
You gotta
like
do.
Yeah,
I know people don't even understand. That's why, like, Beyonce probably be having a time. Like, that's really one of the hardest working women that I know, and that's why I'm so inspired by her, because Beyonce is unapologetically her. Like, she's gonna get whatever she needs and wherever she needs to go by any means possible. Like, she manages her own self. Like, and I just want to be self-made, and she's self-made. She's self-made, and I really do look up to her, and I appreciate that about her, and her humility in all of it. It's like, she's the Beyonce of the world, but she's so humble, and that's what I love most about her.
Yeah, I know you could talk about Beyonce all day.
Oh,
so
sorry. Here I go.
All right, it's all good. It's all good. And so, since this is your visionary podcast, I want to hear your vision. What do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years,
So
I will be 27. Oh gosh, sometimes I don't like to think about this because I'm like, I only got 5 years to get it together. In 5 years, I definitely see myself, I guess, where I'm at now, to the 10th power. Like, my goal eventually for Kaypable is to make it like an incorporation, like a Girls Inc., a Boys and Girls Club, where it's like a space for people, not only just women of adult ages, but I'll have a center for kids. And then, I aspire to be a physician assistant studying gynecology. So I want to tie all of this in together. So it's like a big women's empowerment building where you can kind of like access all the affirmations that you need, and then also come to see me if you need to go to the health clinic or anything. It's just like, I eventually want to make that a thing, and I don't know if that's gonna happen in 5 years, but maybe like vision, that's my vision for sure.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And so I have an interesting question for you. With everything like you've done so far, with all your YouTubing, Instagram, just all the girls that you influence, what are you most proud of?
Kaypable.
Yeah.
I am most proud of Kaypable because it took me where I needed to be, like, and it still does. Like, Kaypable came from God, and I know it came from God. Just because I prayed on it, and I had to I asked God, send me a word that will represent something that I'm trying to do. You feel it in my spirit, so just send me the word. And I was driving down the road one day, and literally it hit me out of nowhere. It was just like Kaypable, because I wanted my name to be able to kind of be catchy with it. Since my name's Kayla, it was like I could do a play with the words. Right. And I just feel like I'm just so proud of where it's going and just the positive influence that it's had. Like. Yeah. I'm just so proud.
Yeah, that's dope. And that's awesome. And so with Kaypable, and you are a student at KSU, how do you balance those two things? Just Kaypable, going to school, and everything else you got going on?
Oh gosh, this is probably the hardest thing to do, just because when you're so passionate about your brand and you're trying to elevate your brand to where it needs to go, but you're also in school and possibly working as well, it's just kind of hard to balance. And you don't want to put your passions and your dreams on the back burner, but it's like school is also extremely important. You don't want to waste time. You don't want to waste money. And with me also being a science major, I'm a biology major, it's just extremely intense with where I'm at in school right now. So what I'm trying to do is just kind of balance and film when I'm not busy, or just make sure I block in Kaypable for at least 2 hours a day. Or I know we had spoken about like making a business plan and just writing down everything and kind of like making Kaypable a shift. Like, well, this is where I work on Kaypable for 4 hours this day. If I can't work on it for 2 hours another day, or at least 30 minutes another day, you know what I mean? Like literally blocking out shifts. So that has definitely helped for sure. And just being intentional has been my biggest lesson, I would say, of 2018. Just learning to be more intentional. And when you're trying to get something done, don't make excuses. Like don't let anything become a distraction. You got to get it done. It's just, you got to be intentional. And that's something I had to learn quick.
Right. And so we did talk about the business plan. Have you done that?
I've been working on it. I definitely still need to set like my calendar goals of where I see Kaypable being in months, and for my goals for January, February, March, April, but I've been brainstorming on ideas. I just haven't put dates to them.
Okay, it's all good. Yeah. And then one point that you hit on was time blocks, working on your brand like it's a shift. And one thing I talked about in a previous episode is that, we're all the CEO of ourselves. Like, we're our own CEO. You have Kaypable, but you're the CEO of Kayla. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so it's crucial to be just intentional about how you spend your time, because your time is super important. And it's
and I feel like time is cut in half. Right. The older you get, the less time that you have. I'm like, I can go do something and come back, and a whole 30 minutes has gone by. So I just really have to take advantage of my time.
Yeah, and with taking advantage of time, you got to make sacrifices, right? Talk about some sacrifices you've had to make just to get you here.
Sacrifices that I've had to make, definitely with me balancing everything. It's like my relationships, not only with just my boyfriend or my friends as well. It's like they have to understand I can't make it to everything, because it's like sometimes I feel like people think I'm kind of like a superhuman, and everybody can get a piece of every part of me, but it's like I've tried to do that because I am a people pleaser naturally. I'm just a people pleaser, and I want everybody to be happy. So it's like I will go out of my way to extend myself to all of these different measures, and I had to learn, like, you have to take care of yourself first. So I would say sacrificing kind of like that free time to be with everybody, and still kind of sacrificing some of my goals and some of my dreams just to make the people around me happy, because it's like you can't be a robot, you still got to be a human. So I've had to make a lot of sacrifices, but it's all worth it. It's definitely all worth it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I believe that. And so I got a difficult question for you.
Okay.
So if you can change anything today, what would you change?
If I could change anything today, let me think. It's kind of broad, but I would just change the way of society, like the way that people think. I mean, I get on Instagram and I look in the comments, and just the amount of hate off of a simple post or a simple meme, it's just, we tear each other down so bad, and I literally hate it. So if I could change anything, I would just change the way that people think, and just, if I could change one thing, I'd probably get rid of sin out of the world. But
sin?
Get rid of sin, like, and everybody could just be happy, and everything could just be free, and we could all just be ourselves and everybody appreciate each other for being themselves. I feel like so many people have standards set for each other and other people. So it's just like when they meet people who aren't in those standards, it's like they're immediately ready to give a negative kind of like feedback or, you know, it's just, I would really change the way people think.
Yeah, that's crazy because I would want to change the same thing. Like we got to do something about this.
We have to. It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
I don't think people understand like the magnitude of their words.
People don't.
Like just how I said before, like the life and death and the power of your tongue. Like people speak death over people's lives, and you know it's real.
Right. People really don't understand. Like I try to tell people, like you have to be mindful of the things that you say because even though you might be trying to hurt somebody, like I tell people, don't even throw shade. You don't have to throw shade. Just be genuine in relaying your emotions and your feelings. Some people just don't know how to communicate effectively, and a lot of times when people are hurt, they try to make people feel how hurt that they hurt them. And it's just a repeating cycle. Yeah. And everybody just ends up getting hurt. So it's just, I would just change the way that people think and just allow people to have a mended heart for sure. For sure.
And so how do you really block out that negative energy? Because of course the negative energy comes to everybody, but some people just know how to block it. You know what I'm saying? So how do you block that? How do you block negative energy?
I block it because I feel that, you know, growing up, thanks to my grandma and thanks to just my foundation, like we always spoke life and positivity because my mama been telling me like the power of life and death lies within the tongue since I was like 3. So it's just like always speaking life and always speaking positivity has definitely really helped. It just, like you said, it just goes a long way for sure. Like when what you say and what you feel is what will happen, you know, and it'll manifest. Whatever man thinketh, so is he. I'm not trying to take you out of church, but you know, like it'll manifest for sure. Yeah, for sure. And that's crazy. That was the name of my 4th episode, As a Man Thinketh, So Is He. Wow. Pretty dope. Yeah, but yeah, one way that I block out the negative energy is just gratitude. You know, like my morning routine, I gotta wake up with gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Just waking up like, dang, it's early, but I'm thankful. Like I'm thankful I even had this bed. I'm thankful I get to breathe. It's just the little things that people take for granted. For sure. Right? That is so crazy that you say that because gratitude has been my word of the year. Like gratitude and humility. People don't understand the power in gratitude and humility. Like you don't understand just being gracious and being appreciative of so much really gives you, just like I said, a mended heart. It really opens your perspective. And something that I've been working on just in gratitude itself is like taking myself out of situations to see how other people would feel if this, like basically trying to remove myself from situations to see how I should go about a situation, if that makes sense. So it's like not thinking about me, but thinking about how others would feel based on my actions, if that makes sense, or thinking about how I would feel if I took myself out of the situation and somebody did this to me. Yeah, that makes sense. Because humility is just huge. Humility is huge, and I don't think people understand that blessings come from that, and you just have to be humble and receptive. You have to be able to receive because that's the only way you grow. That's really the only way you grow. That's thinking real. You know it all, not gonna grow. Yeah, that's real. And so I just want to give a task for all my listeners. Just get out a piece of paper and write down 10 things that you're grateful for. You know, it could just be your house, your bed, car, friends, whatever it is. Just write down, you know, those 10 things you're grateful for. And then whenever you feel negativity trying to just take over your mind, just read that out loud, you know, kind of like positive affirmations. Just read, yes, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this. And, you know, you'll see the impact that it makes, right? Yeah. And so as we get to the end, tell everybody how they can, you know, find Kaypable, how they can find you. Well, I definitely, you can find me on all of my social media at thisgirl_Kayla. That's my Twitter and my Instagram. Also, I just launched my websites and released t-shirts. Congrats. So you can go get your Kaypable merchandise at fullykapable.squarespace.com. And all of my information is on there as well. So all of my social media. So yes, the girl group is on there too? Yes, a form to fill out for the girl group. If you would like to be a part, definitely go to my website. Go ahead and do like a quick pitch of why females should, you know, get onto your group. Okay, I definitely think that women should be a part of this group just because, like you said, it's that positive reinforcement, that positive affirmation. We send quotes, we send scriptures, we send just anything that you need to kind of lift you up. We talk about real stuff. Like I've had video chats and everything. It's just a more personal way to get to know yourself and to really feel capable of anything that you put your mind to. So definitely come and join and connect with me. There it is. Yeah, there it is. So
That's it. This episode. Thank you, Kayla, again.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Me
and
too.
Everybody, make sure you guys reach out to Kayla, follow her on Instagram, YouTube, check out her website as well, and stay tuned for the next episode. See you guys. Bye. And so this part of the episode is what I call the Visionary Minute, where I go over some key things that I took away from the previous episode. So one thing I took away was when she was talking about relationships, and she said in college, you really broaden your knowledge of relationships. And I think that's very important because you come into college thinking one way about relationships, but you leave thinking another. And so I think it's important to be intentional about your relationships and who you choose to indulge in a relationship with. And another key point was when she talked about balance and how it's important to know when you have to sacrifice some things to work on your dreams, right? Because time is super important and it's something that we don't get enough of, right? And so I think it's key to be really smart about how you use your time. And the last point I want to hit on is when she talked about positive affirmations, you know, how it's important to just put that positive energy out there because it's contagious, right? And that just leads me to the end of this episode and just reminding you guys to go on Amazon and check out my book, The Positive Affirmation Guide. You know, it's a daily reminder of some key things that you need to be aware of in order to stay positive and just make sure that you put that positive energy out into the world, right? Because right now there's so much negativity going on with just mainly politics, you know, and just the negative things that's always going on in the world. And so I think what the world needs is just more positive people. And so that's my goal with this podcast. That's my goal with the book. And that's just what I want to do, you know, promote positivity and push that out into the world. And so there it is, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. Peace.